All right, I'm going to do a quick video on how to do a takedown of the slide on a Hartford Arms, an equipment company, model 1925 semi-automatic pistol. The reason why I'm doing this is I couldn't find any videos on YouTube on how to do this. I could find ones for high standard later models, but not for this one. And just very quickly, this one right here is the Hartford Arms and Equipment Company Model 25, and as you can see, it has two levers. The one on the left is the safety, and the one on the right is the takedown lever. Now, this company was only in business for a few years, went bankrupt during the Great Depression. 1932, High Standard buys the company and calls the previous model 1925, it calls it the High Standard Model B. As you can see, the one on top is a High Standard Model B. It's a later version. It's my understanding the first versions looked identical to the model 1925 and had the safety lever and a breakdown lever here. So taking down this model 1925 would have been the same as the early version, but this is a later version, Model B. The takedown for this you can find on YouTube, and just real quick, they moved, High Standard moved the takedown lever to the opposite side. The other thing they did is you have this plunger here with a recoil spring in front of it. High Standard on later versions of the Model B moved the plunger up to here. Now this is somewhat foolproof in that you can take it apart, it's not going to hurt it, but this, if you're going to take apart a later version, the High Standard's you got to be very careful about using the takedown button to capture the spring, and make sure that you go onto YouTube and find out how to do it correctly, because you can release the spring internally, and it's my understanding you'll then have to take, if you do it wrong, the spring will release, you won't be able to get the slide off, and you'll have to take it to a machinist or a gunsmith to drill into the receiver to get that spring done. So you don't want to do that. Make sure you go on YouTube. But today I'm going to focus on the Hartford Arms and Equipment Company Model 1925, how to do the takedown on this. Pretty simple. So first thing we're going to do is make sure that the pistol is safe. So we're going to pull back, and there's no ammunition in the magazine, and there's no ammunition in the chamber. So it is safe to do this. The safety is off. And now what we're going to do is I'm going to push in the plunger, and at the same time I'm going to pull down the breakdown lever. What that does is it releases a mechanism inside that's holding the slide, and now I'm going to pull the slide off. So you can get a better look at what you're doing. You're actually pulling down this mechanism with the breakdown lever. So it's that simple, folks. And one important thing though, I need to point out, hopefully you can see this in the video, it's hard to see. Where I'm pointing at in this plunger, the plunger has a depression machined into it. It has to be facing down towards the receiver and towards the pistol, because this mechanism right here is what catches it and causes the slide to recoil. So if you don't, so when you push the plunger in, you can spin this with your finger, but make sure that the depression or the hole is facing down so that when you put it back on, it will catch. So now this is pretty simple. What we're going to do is put the magazine on, slide, and pull down the breakdown lever at the same time. Now, if you can see, it's caught on the hammer. So what we've got, the slide is catching on the hammer. So now what we're going to do is push down on the hammer and get it forward. All right, So now we got the slide back on. So what we've got to do so that it seats correctly and works, because what had happened is it won't recoil, it'll just come back. So what we're going to do now is you need to push on the plunger, push it in, push up on the breakdown lever. What that does is it causes the mechanism to go into the depression on the plunger, which contacts the recoil spring, and now it's captured, as they call it. So now the recoil spring will work. So, and this is how you know that you've done it successfully, because the slide springs forward and on its own. All right, good luck. Any questions, post them down in the comments.